Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Case of the Golden Idol, the game where I always see all the clues, read all the words, and come to all the right conclusions. Unerringly, every time. Obviously, who wouldn't? It's so easy. Seriously though, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Obviously, if you think this is cool, please, if you watch me play it, it's gonna ruin it for you. Please go buy it, and then play it, and then please come back, because I need the views. Anyway... We're on to chapter 2 here, The Cursed Inheritance. Let's check out The Murder at the Little Mermaid. Okay, well that seems bad. That seems bad for this fellow. Who is this fellow? Okay, thank you. What a surprise. He's got a walking cane in hand, presumably like trying to defend himself as he was murdered. It's that ring with that ruby again. We still don't really know what the significance of that is, but it sure is coming up a lot. What have we here? In his room, there's an empty box. Huh. Closing it makes the song eventually play. No, it's every time I click to open it, the song starts before the box opens. And because it starts before the box opens, I thought it was the being closed state that was causing it, just with a delay. To my dear Maurice. Watch is still ticking. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh right, click the words, yes. It's like, that's still a yellow sparkle. What have we here on the desk? A washing bowl filled with slightly bloody water. And a letter. Dear Proud Beast Master, I have attended our departed brother's send-off and accepted the keepsake that he bestowed upon our brotherhood in his will. I shall send this letter tomorrow, September 10. I hope it will reach you without delay. Already it is midnight. I will retire to my bed, for this has been a long day. May Griffin awaken, Proud Beast Initiate. Okay, so either something really, really weird is going on here, or we've walked into a LARP. This could be the scene of a LARP, and then someone gets stabbed to death at the LARP. I've never heard of it happening, but it seems like it must, right? People get murdered all kinds of places. Oh, howdy. Okay, this is our town watchman, I guess. Watchman number 2, Henry Parker. He's got a lantern. He's got a spear. We don't have to click the word spear. The word spear just comes to us. And here we have shards of glass outside the window, worth noting. Suggesting that the window was broken, in fact, from the inside. So these rooms have different little... I can't tell if these are pictures. At this resolution, these could be cross stitches but weird little things of flowers here. Art of flowers. Revenge, RR. Found a trapdoor in the ceiling. I can't actually operate it in any way, but we know it's there. So, a locked room, a window broken from the inside... It's a classic sort of murder mystery, I suppose. An empty bed, not warm. Also a trapdoor in the ceiling. I mean, it sure does seem like this is probably our method of entry. Why did that bugger give me a note when he knows damn well I can't read? Maybe it's not for you. You can lie low for a couple of days in the old oarsman's place down at the docks. An old rusty half of shears, a bit of stale bread... Just some guy out in, coincidentally nearby, out the window. And downstairs, nobody knows what's happened. This is horrifying. Also, that's the saddest narwhal I've ever seen. At the Little Mermaid Inn, amazing Evans musical performance. His last name is Evans. On September 9th, event shall commence circa 11 p.m. Just deal the next one. It's all luck anyway. Remember, you, as an agent of our trading company, have to reflect its values to the fullest. Never be late. The client leaves port on 10th. Be persuasive. Do not take no for an answer. We must get the client's product. Be effective. Once you have the product, deliver it to me immediately with the servant boy. Most importantly, no matter what you do, be mindful of our reputation. Our names must remain spotless. I appreciate that people have stuff on them that just like makes sense for them to have, that it's not all part of the mystery. So it helps to some extent to obscure exactly what it is that you're looking for. The game's not being like super circumspect about things like that, but obviously it doesn't take very much to throw me off the trail. Oh, mother, forgive me. I will never gamble with something so dear to me again. He's got his violin. Everybody's just carrying around blades and knives and stuff, which I appreciate. You should have a pocket knife. It's a good thing for a person to have a pocket knife. Be calm, John. He was a perfect gentleman. He brought me a drink, then retired upstairs. So yeah, she's playing cards. We don't get to see what her cards are. To Annie, you are beautiful like a rose. For you, I will take any blows. Okay, look, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on romantic poetry or poetry of any kind, or frankly, romance. But I feel like rhyming couplets is just, it's such a basic move. It's such a third grader, I have a crush on you kind of move, you know? Annie, you are like a glass of wine. Your hair is very fine, much like any glass of wine, just lovely hair. I will find gold in a mine if that makes you forever mine. Oof. Oof. Recycling the phoneme from the last couplet and rhyming the word with itself. Your piglet, full of love. This is some D- romantic poetry. She's got a pretty mean blade on her as well. This dude has an actual sword. He is not doing very well at cards, I feel like. Tell me, what does that man have that I lack? So that's John. Okay. Let's pop open the thinking thing here. Just go ahead and throw a John on there. And an Annie on here. You're someone Evans. We have your name. You're Henry Parker. Okay. Clue has been added to the thinking panel. Alright, so presumably these are the hands? That'll help us figure out the names of the other people at the table once we have more information, I think. Wanted, Robert Redruth, escaped convict. Is that our man? His eyes are certainly, I do believe. Are these kinds of... Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing where perhaps my combination of historical ignorance and ignorance about alcohol is maybe gonna really kick me in the head. What does this word mean? Hold on. I'm not familiar with this word. I'm going to tab out here and just... Bridge. Well, it is the name of a village. But, like... It's the name of a saint. It doesn't look like it's a word. Although the Cambridge English Dictionary would like us to know that perhaps it is a word from which the word bridge was derived. Okay, so Willard Wright one night in the Dandelion Room, Ash Blair one night in the Forget-Me-Not Room. Aha! Where did that blasted boy go? I really need a piss. He's got this lemon that he's peeling. He's got all these lovely keys. And dear Oscar Boynton, It sure is convenient that everybody just happens to be carrying around in their pocket letters that have been written to them whenever we encounter someone. It has come to our attention that the good owner of the Little Mermaid offers services to those who want to transfer products that are less agreeable to the authorities. I will come by in 3 days. If you still have some spare space in your gin barrels and are willing to earn extra money, reach out to me. So that was written to him on the 8th. Door to the street is shut with a latch. According to this letter, okay, so it's the evening of the 9th right now, which makes sense given some other stuff that we saw here. Okay, so you are going to be an Oscar Boynton for sure. This is probably Willard, right? I think it's hard to connect that face to the one that we saw in the last case, but absolutely could be. So Blair is a last name. These are all last names, right? Because Ash Blair was on that thing. Yeah, Ash Blair in the Forget-Me-Not room, which is this one, probably. Forget-Me-Nots are blue? That could be a thing. Let me just... Yeah, they're sort of a light bluish color. They're actually really pretty. I don't know a lot about flowers. I am allergic to, to most kinds of pollen, so, mostly what I do is I stay away from them. So what, you're probably Ash Blair then? It'd make a lot of sense for you to be Ash Blair. Which means AG is Annie Green, and JB will be John Bridge, and that thing was for keeping track of the tabs. Okay. All of it very sensible. Which means this is probably Maurice Evans, because Maurice is the only name we have that we haven't used yet, and also we're out of words. Although I will say, I don't even remember where we saw the name Maurice at this point. So Robert Redruth, it's interesting that he's out here, because he couldn't have escaped via this window. It'd make a lot more sense to me if this window was open, because then the idea is he snuck in via the attic, killed the dude, snuck across, and out. I guess he must have jumped out this window after? I don't know. So does this just want the names that correspond to the entries? So Willard played the first set of hands with them. Annie has been just sitting here the whole night. Lady likes her cards. What can I say? I think we learned last time that these panels don't necessarily matter. It seems to be filling in the thing on the left that gets you actual progress. But that would require thought. This looks easy. So I'm just going to do this real quick. Okay. All right. So it would seem that perhaps Robert Redruth crept into Willard Wright's room through the window. Well, no, because the window's broken outward. So it's probably just broken during the struggle. Something like that. And the door is locked from the hallway. So the trap door is what makes sense to me. While blank and blank and blank were playing cards with loud music. One assumes the last group. I mean, it could have been during this set of hands as well. A fight ensued upstairs, and Willard Wright got stabbed. Got stabbed with whatever kind of knife it was that Robert had. We'll go look in a second. So I don't know that it super matters here. It's definitely Annie Green, and John Bridge. And then, like, we have no idea how much time has passed. Possibly. All right, let's really quickly here. What kind of knife are you holding? Shears. Yeah, I mean, that seems shearsable to me. This scroll is not filled in correctly, and it's really not filled in correctly. Because if it was within 2, it would tell us it was within 2. Well, let me see about this. What if the stabbing happened during this hand? Nope, that doesn't. Okay, that's not the problem. Is there clearer evidence of where the sneaking in happened? It's just the window feels like a red herring. Again, because of where the glass is broken. And if he'd come in through the window, he would have disturbed the stuff on the table. I feel fairly confident about that part. Hold on. Am I being a little... Ash's knife doesn't have any blood on it. I'm just like looking at the timeline, and it's not impossible for it to have been Ash. Right? If the stabbing happened during this hand. Because if there's loud music, the stabbing didn't happen here. Maurice was playing cards during this hand. Ash could, in theory, have done the stabbing here. What did the note that Robert had on him say? He's got a note for a couple of places he can lie low. I sort of just jumped to him because he's the most, like... he's the most menacing looking, and, you know, we know he's a convict or whatever. But, like, that's pretty unfair. That's pretty unreasonable. That doesn't mean he did this. Revenge RR could absolutely be just, like, framing, right? Because if it is indeed Ash, this poster's right here. But the thing is... And it would have been easy enough for Ash to do it. He's not been in bed. But there's not actually anything here to suggest that it was him. I guess, does Ash have... I don't know, it's hard to tell. I was gonna say, like, the blood on the wall looks like it's finger painted on there. But nobody has, like, red fingers or anything. Yeah, none of the weapons that might have done this show any evidence of being yeah, I don't know. So this is where we got Maurice from. Why would... Why would Willard Wright have a pocket watch that says "To my dear Maurice" on it? Right? I'm sort of like making assumptions and filling things in here. But like there's actually some stuff that we don't really understand about this. And I don't see any reason that it couldn't have been Ash Blair. But also, I don't see any reason for us to think that it was Ash Blair. I don't think we have any reason to suspect anyone in particular. The game is telling us it was Ash Blair, but that feels like a thing I didn't actually learn. And if he got stabbed by Ash Blair, he probably got stabbed with Ash's dagger. Yeah. A man going by the name of Ash Blair crept into Willard's room through the trapdoor to steal something important. When he opened the music box, it woke Willard up, and a fight ensued. In the fracas, Ash stabbed Willard and attempted to frame an escaped convict. Yeah, which was totally information that he had, and it totally worked on me. I am very foolish. But, like, is it really the case that the only clue we had to that was that we magically know that it wasn't Robert because the game won't give us credit if it's Robert? Is there not somewhere a real clue? This could be, so the client could be Willard, the product could very well be like the idol or something. People seem to have a great deal of care for this idol. But it really does feel like speculation. It's no more speculation than me claiming it was Robert. But it kind of is a bummer that it has to just be speculation. Maybe there's something that I'm missing that makes it clearer. Oh, good. I'm so glad this thing is here now, too. Good morning, innkeeper. I heard a man was murdered here a week ago. I had arranged convict did him in. Now bugger off. Tell me more about the evening Willard Wright died. I will make it worth your while. This is a very normal way to hold a coin out to someone. All right, so somebody's on the trail here. Somebody knows something is not as it seems. The intoxicating dinner party. So far, every one of these has been about a person getting murdered. I'm assuming this will turn out to be the same. These sure are fine coats. You have an expensive cigar. Little Pip, run to the city and grab me some Ash Blair tobacco and a bottle of gin. I will pay you when I am back. Okay, well, I reckon that's Little Pip. I do not like this fucking proto berries and cream kid. Very bad news. Okay, well, this is a scene. Yellow liquid, a partially eaten salad. We're going to have to determine who was sitting where. Partially eaten piece of roast, red liquid, also amber liquid. Here we have a cigar, which definitely gives us some information. Cloudy liquid. All right, listen, I can tell the difference between red wine and white wine. If you're going to ask me which of these is like which kind of alcohol, I might end up in some trouble here. Okay, we'll get to that. So you have an embroidered handkerchief that doesn't have any like information on it, as far as I can see. You're Mr. Cloudsley. We know you. It's poison. Nobody touch a thing and nobody move. I'll send for the doctor right away. You have a fancy heart key and a fancy rectangle key, like you're a character in a Resident Evil game or something. She does seem rather unwell. It's extremely upsetting. That's not a wig. My man just straight has a towel curled up on his head, or like a bed sheet maybe? It's probably a bed sheet. It's too long to be a towel. That's not how wigs work, my dude. She has seen better days. Lots and lots of gemstoned rings. You killed my aunt, you devil. I should execute you on the spot. He's got a pack of cards and a little bit of money and a fork with which he is either gesticulating wildly or threatening. Oh, my lord, this has nothing to do with me. Note to self, if you get frustrated when working, remember the tale about the rich lord who married his donkey, and you will feel better. That's weird. He wrote a physical note to self. Okay. Ensure that the beautiful lady sits next to me during dinner, and I will slip you a shilling, says Peter. All right, you have the same keys as Cloudsley does, as well as one more, right? That he did not have. Is there something I missed about your... Oh, I didn't look at your hair. The lady is not breathing, and her face is blotched. Maybe that's not the right place for that sparkle. Okay, an opaque bottle that has some water in it. Okay, they are color coding the alcohols for us explicitly, which I really appreciate. So, brandy, wine, an almost full carafe of yellow liquid containing lemons. And, of course, some peptic tonic. How could I have forgotten? Of course, there would be peptic tonic. What's through here? Oh my, this is a much larger scene. Okay, the idol, or at least an idol. Here in this safe. Dear Edmund, this cannot continue. Since my return and move to Sebastian's manor, he has asked for financial support 7 times. He clearly is unable to take any monetary responsibility. Please, I need your help, my dear brother. Okay, so Rose has written out to Edmund asking specifically for assistance. That was February 10th. Then March 6th, we have a letter. Dear Edmund, I like your idea. Let's send him to colonies where his violent nature will make him feel at home. I hear you are having dinner with Lady Mary and her well-to-do father Lothar. If Peter and I were to join you, we could beguile him with tales of adventures in the colonies so we can ship him away. Mrs. Baker, starting date as housemaid. Okay. Platanello's Ideal Republic. Visions of a Utopia with order and structure. Dr. Abram Anderton's Secret Codes. Such trivial ciphers as reading only the first word of every line are easy to produce on short notice, but extremely unsafe and easy to decode. Consider this simple example. Money, as denominator of value, has evolved and changed a lot. Still, in savvy hands, it is a powerful tool. So first of all, what I would do is try to write lines that look like they're approximately the correct length. Secondly, you don't want your code to read like something somebody's writing in an essay in 4th grade. That makes it more obvious. Remember to take the 4th one from every row. What is this about? An ink pot, some money. There is so much stuff to see on this one. I will not change the rule that the staff member who has worked here the longest gets the bottom room. Do not bother with such nonsense again. M. Mademoiselle, the Laceless Count, the besmirched lover of Lusitania. So, where are we? Because I was kind of assuming we must be at Rose's. Oh, no, sorry, we must be at Edmund's. Yeah, because otherwise the letters from Rose to Edmund would not be here. Which, again, that makes sense. So this is like Edmund's manor. A pair of twig dolls and a bottle of pink liquid partially empty. Once your target has ingested the love potion, establish eye contact and hold it for as long as possible. In most cases, the effect will be felt within 2 days, depending on your own appearances. Here's the thing, love potions work better for hot people. Nobody likes that, it's just true. So, the meaning of this letter. This is somebody who was trying to swap rooms. I will not change the rule that the staff member who has been here the longest gets the bottom rooms. This is whichever member of the staff had been the longest wanted to switch to the upper room. But why, though? Well, well, Edmund. You seemed pretty pleased after the old boy passed away and a spot freed up for you in the House of Lords. Take care of those with whom you ally. I have many friends and will deal with you swiftly if you dare cross me, says Lord George Bridges. What I think would be a good idea is to just not write your threats out, longhand, and then sign your name to them. The revolution will come for the likes of you, you crooked bastard. Soon you will pay for your sins against honest common folk with your blood. So saith the final vanguard. Edmund Cloudsley, once more you have failed to answer our requisition. This is the last warning you shall receive. Your transgressions against us demand amends. Your only course of action you have is to surrender yourself to our justice. Last chance for repentance, serpent, or we will unleash one of our stewards upon you. So, not well liked by some relatively powerful people. I feel like they could just take it a little bit easy on making me have to click everything to mark the letter is finished. Some of these are words we had for sure. I'm actually a little surprised that it took until there for us to get Cloudsley, though. Dear Uncle, I hear you are interested in Lady Richards. I think you are too old for her. I shall court her instead. Secondly, please lend me £300. It is small change to you, and I am desperately in need of it at present. Truly yours, Peter Batley. Imagine thinking that it's okay to make these two paragraphs in the same letter. Hello, I think I'm going to steal your girl. Also, pay me. Alright, doors are all locked. Here's where we would use our square key, one assumes. Due to the sensitivity of your stomach, I advise abstaining from alcohol for the next month. Also, consider a glass of peptic tonic before eating to avoid upsetting your digestive system. Also, a man has some opium, which I think is like pretty normal for the time. This door is locked. Even more of Ash Blair's fine tobacco. Is that a set of lockpicks? I guess that's a tension wrench. A pistol, a dagger. David, clean up the barn until Wednesday. I plan to continue experimenting with the artifact. Seems like dangerous stuff. Who's been sleeping here? A couple of pennies, a fancy handkerchief, and a shiny pocket watch. Okay, these are keys. Small bottle filled with amber liquid. Could be dangerous. This isn't gonna work, right? Like, this is a blank that has not yet been carved. I think. Monkey Man 1 versus Striped Darkhand. What could that book possibly be? Monkey Man 2, Tooth for Tooth. I'm sensing these might be references, potentially. Mrs. Smith, 2 eggs and a pot of tea each breakfast, no heavy food for dinner. You are responsible for Little Pip doing all his errands. Little Pip, that troublemaker. Mr. Walker, I am to be woken up and dressed at 7 a.m. I expect to receive my daily newspaper by noon. Mrs. Baker, I expect all my rooms to be cleaned every day, twice on the days I have visitors. Feels a little excessive. And NB, David Gorin's job requires that he may arrive or leave during night. No complaining about this. Well, that's cute at least. So Mrs. Smith's been working here for 3 years. Alright, we got some more wine and brandy here in this tiny, tiny little alcohol closet. Thank you, dear. No, I threw it out. I do not read such dirty literature anymore. I do hope our master's guests are satisfied and that Brian served everything as inspected. As instructed. Alright, so there's an awful lot of keys around here. The dinner party will take place on April 8th. Everything should be ready before noon. Prepare roasted boar. Young Miss Richards appears not to enjoy meat, therefore prepare some alternative side dish. Listen, you figure it out. Of course I can give you some candles for your room, Lucia. I assume you're itching to continue reading that scandalous novel. Okay, so this is Ada. I have to use this letter to share good news. There is no substance to the claims that your late husband used his position to squander church money. The judge has decided to remove all accusations, and you will be no longer a target of baseless gossip. I truly and sincerely hope this will provide some comfort in these dark times when ignorance and impudence go hand in hand. May our Lord steward over our poor souls. Sadly, not signed. Not that that information would necessarily have been useful. Door to the outside is not locked. So this just looks like the pantry. Got some lemons and potatoes and flour. Bottles of water, big piece of meat. Okay. Probably not terribly relevant, honestly. Dear Diary, so April 7th. Dear Diary, this has been an ordinary day, mostly spent in preparation for tomorrow's dinner event. I do believe the time has come for me to ask for a raise in salary after all these years I have loyally worked here. It is a difficult conversation to be had, but I will strengthen my will and talk to Master about it tomorrow. And we have a sense of how that's gone. Hortius, the Wise Slave. Fables about rulers that make you think. I wonder how they even managed to get that published. Alright, the door is locked. Hold on now. There's a little compartment under this bed. A sealed pot labeled print paint. And a copy of the pamphlet, Down with Parasites. Too long they have feasted on our blood and sweat. It's true. It's a true story. Okay. So at this point, it does seem like we've seen almost everything. An overcoat and a hat. All right. Oh, it's not going to say that for all of them. One of them has cigars in the pocket. What do you have? Dear Mary, here's something for your diary from me. For you, I would fight a tiger and win. Peter Batley, 1788. I really love how shocked this tiger is by the fact that he dared lay his filthy human hands on it. It was not prepared for this possibility. Dear Miss Richards, I enjoyed your company tremendously when I visited your father last month. I am certain that you would wish to hear the rest of my thoughts on the shortcomings of our society. Yep, every man's convinced that everyone wants to. I invite you and your father to a dinner on April 8th at my manor. Sincerely, Edmund Cloudsley. Did I miss... Oh, I didn't click Richards, even though we definitely already have Richards. And what are you? Oh. A syringe with some liquid left in it. Interesting. Okay. I do apologize for this. I'm going to have to drop a little cut in here because there's something I need to deal with real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. My health is an ongoing situation that I have to manage. So it's been, a couple of hours now. Hopefully I haven't forgotten too much here. We almost have all of the pieces to work with. We're still missing one word. So, all this stuff is red. Where's the sparkle that I missed? I think we're all good in this room. Wait, that's yellow. Had I not clicked on... I did have to, I left the game and I closed it and came back in, so... Looks like it maybe didn't preserve the state of all of the sparkles correctly. I don't know, maybe I hadn't actually clicked on this. Oh! There's a bag over here. Okay, bag was our word. So, more keys. There's an awful lot of keys involved here. So now that we actually have everything, A bunch of identities. We got to figure out the seating arrangements at the table. The sleeping arrangements for... Is this just the staff? Are there 5? They're only... Assuming Lil Pip is supposed to be one of them. Probably this one, given the size of the mattress and the tiny little coat here. There's the 2 ladies, the guy upstairs serving. Maybe one of these rooms actually belongs to Edmund? Well, okay, let's start with this. Let's start with this bit. So let's go back up there. All right, we recognize a couple of these characters, right? We know from previous experience, this is going to be our Edmund Cloudsley. That is certainly a Rose Kubert, and this is unquestionably a David Batley. Right, all characters from the previous things. Doesn't help us a huge amount, so okay. What do we actually know about these other people? Hold on. Let me go through their coats again. All right, somebody just has some cigars. Miss Richards. Okay, so this is the invitation to show up. I invite you and your father to a dinner on April 8th at my manor. Okay, Mary Richards. Mary Richards and Daddy Richards. Do we have a daddy here? Remarkably, no. No, we do not. Do we know his name? Sadly, he does not have a letter on him that is addressed to himself. So that's the way we get most people's names around here. I'm just kind of refreshing myself on what everybody has. Okay. Note to self. You get frustrated. Think of a thing. Ensure that beautiful lady sits next to me during dinner and I'll slip you a shilling. So, I mean, it is worth noting he does not have a shilling. So, really, the logical thing to take from this is that Peter and Mary did not sit next to each other. But I bet they want you to put them next to each other, and they should really have had him have a shilling on hand to make it like really clear that that actually happened. I don't know. Actually, then again, Peter doesn't have. He's got 2 pounds on him. He's got no loose shillings though. Maybe he just meant he'll do it later. Still have no idea what that means. It's entirely possible that whatever that is about, like, you know, some clandestine activity that we'll see upcoming too. It might not even be related to this case. Right. The staff member who has worked here the longest gets the bottom room. Probably will be useful at some point. You have some Ash Blair stuff. Also, this says David. I mean, that's not exactly rocket science, right? That seems to me like it's probably a David. Wait, this guy's name isn't David Batley, it's Peter Batley. Did I think I must have filled that in wrong. Let me tell you, my brain. His name's Peter, right? Hold on, now I'm all discombobulated. Yes. I do love it very much. It's a very good drawing of a tiger. Not in the way he wants it to be, but it's good. That's good whimsy. What was I doing? I was trying to figure out names. I believe the time has come for me to ask for a raise in salary. After all these years, I have loyally worked here. Right, because you worked here for a long time. Strengthen my will and talk to Master about it tomorrow. But you're the person who is like, the nobility is bad. To be fair, a lot of servants, I'm sure, feel that way, as well they should, and they are right to do so. Okay, well, you're talking to Lucia, and you are Ada. There's no substance to the claims that your late husband used his position to squander church money. Truly and sincerely hope this will provide some comfort in these dark times when ignorance and impudence go hand in hand. May our Lord steward over our poor souls. Okay, well. So, Ada and Lucia. We have some names. You are a Lucia, you are an Ada. Also, this is Little Pip, for sure. As though that is his first and last name. Okay, so this is David then. David something. Door to the outside is not locked. This is just the food and whatnot. Here's where we keep the wines and the brandies. Mrs. Smith has worked here at least 3 years. We have no idea how old this thing is. Okay, here we go. So we have a Mrs. Smith. You are responsible for little Pip doing all his errands. Mr. Walker, I am to be woken up and dressed at 7. Mrs. Baker. David Gorin's job requires that he... okay. Wait a minute. So there actually are 2 men working here, despite the fact that there's only 1 man in the portraiture. Because David Gorin is presumably not present? I don't know, like he may arrive or leave during the night. It could be the case that that guy up there is David Gorin. What do you have on you? I do hope our master's guests are satisfied that Brian served everything as instructed. Okay. So maybe that guy up there is Brian Walker then? And this is David Gorin's room. These are 2 people. Brian Walker and David Gorin. That's what I've decided. And then we know that Lucia and Ada are Smith and Baker, but we don't know which one's which. Right? Do we have any reason to think the dinner party will take place? Everything should be ready for noon. Prepare roasted boar. Young Miss Richards appears not to enjoy meat. So you're the one that's supposed to be cooking? That makes you Smith. Presumably. Lucia Smith, and then Ada Baker, who does not do the cooking. Makes sense. And that means you maybe are George? Don't have a lot of man's names floating loose here. Okay, well, I goofed somewhere, but only one somewhere. One of these names is wrong. Okay, hold on. Do we... Okay, yeah, there are letters. Right. I have many friends and will deal with you swiftly if you dare cross me, Lord George. Okay, so George is George Bridges, right? Which was why George and Bridges are next to each other. This doesn't feel like a murder thing right now, though, right? It's like, if you cross me, then murdering. Murder in a potential future. The revolution will come for you. Final Vanguard says, soon you'll pay for your sins against the honest common folk. So maybe Final Vanguard killed Rose? Once more, you have failed to answer our requisition. Edmund Cloudsley is not well liked. There's a lot going on in his life. And of course, Peter Batley being Peter Batley. Yeah, there's no universe in which he gives that dude a shilling, right? That's not actually gonna happen. Since my return and move to Sebastian's manor, he has asked for financial support 7 times. So Sebastian is the Sebastian Cloudsley who died. So the he here is Peter, probably. I mean, it's got to be, right? Given the context of the previous letter that we read. Peter's not mentioned here, but Edmund and Rose had talked about him previously, one assumes. Mrs. Baker started in 1787. Are these like recent? Yeah, okay, so this one's about the dinner party. So it's 1788 now. So Mrs. Baker has been working here less long than Mrs. Smith. We don't know the dates on the other ones yet. Wait. Lady Mary and her well-to-do father Lothar. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that means we can probably start making some headway on this thing then. Well, so right now all we really have to work with, though, is that Mary didn't want to eat meat, but 3 of the 5 table settings don't have any meat at them. All right, maybe we're not quite there yet. Somebody wanted somebody dead, and thus somebody poisoned the certain food and hid the necessary key in a thing. At the dinner party, well, this part we know. At the dinner party, Rose Kubert ingested the poison and died. So... I mean, an awful lot of people want Edmund dead, but let's sort this bit out first, because this will help figure out exactly what happened, because we'll know who ate what. So what else was in here? That's the idol and a bag. Due to the sensitivity of your stomach. Okay, the peptic tonic, which is the cloudy liquid, right? So Edmund would have been at a seat with the cloudy liquid and no alcohol, which puts him here. Oh, I see what happened. Somebody poisoned the peptic tonic. Rose had some, and she drank before Edmund did. So Edmund's only still alive because he hadn't taken a drink yet. Some fast-acting poison. It's very immediate and thorough. So someone wanted Edmund dead. And they poisoned the tonic. Who poisoned the tonic and hid the necessary key? Okay, so everybody's got keys, right? There's a billion keys. This is the key they would need, though, because this is where he keeps his peptic tonic. So it's in the blue one. Which means that, I mean, this dude has the key. You're a Brian. Wait, no, sorry. Brian has not hidden his key, though. Brian is holding his key, which makes him really suspicious, actually. So, I keep having these little brain moments where I don't remember how to switch back to this view. So there are keys in this bag, right? But there were also keys somewhere else around here. Okay. Yeah. Inside this mattress, in fact. Which is pretty suspicious. What does the body of that blue key actually look like? Okay. And then 2 notches. That's not right. That's it, though. That's our winner. And there's nothing in the vase, right? The vase has the syringe, but no keys. Okay, well, I'd say that's fairly conclusive. So, okay, this is why this shit matters, because it's whoever's in this room that has access to the bag. Right? Because, yeah, it's hung high enough off the ground that nobody's going to bump into it from down here. So we need to figure out this rooming situation then. So what are my clues? An ordinary day mostly spent in preparation for tomorrow's dinner event. This is frustratingly vague. Fables about rulers that really make you think. Okay. Lucia was asking about candles. So presumably she doesn't already have candles? Probably. We know this is David's room. You also have candles, so probably that's Lucia? I don't know if that's solid enough logic. And then it's a matter of who has worked here the longest. Which one was just hired? Mrs. Baker was just hired. She's been working here less long than Lucia has. So that means this has got to be Brian. And then this is where Little Pip's little objects are. Okay. So presumably Ada Baker is the... darn it. Ada Baker is the poisoner. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I don't know if I would have put together that this is the structure of what happened without the text explicitly telling me it's so. Okay, so... let's say... Mary did not have meat. And Peter probably sat next to her. Of the seats that are left, that puts Peter here, because this is the seat that is adjacent. This is the only seat available that is adjacent to either of those. So one of these is Mary and the other one's her father, and probably the cigar is her father? Is that a reasonable thing to just assume? Kid has pilfered a cigar. He just looks so menacing. I want to believe he's the killer. So you have the cigars. And we know this is Mary's coat. So yeah, okay, I feel like relatively confident on this one. Mary and Lothar. So who wanted Edmund Cloudsley dead? A bunch of people did. Let's go look at his wastebasket of threats again. So again, this feels like a I'm not going to kill you yet, like you have to do something to me thing. Also, I will say we don't know Lord George Bridges, but it feels to me like you have to be pretty not sharp to kill a guy after you have sent him a threatening letter that is signed with your real actual name and title. That feels brash. So maybe he's not responsible. Could be, I don't know. We might unleash one of our stewards on you. The last warning you will receive, you have to surrender yourself to our justice. But the Brotherhood of Masks is not one of our... we don't have those words. We do have the word steward. This is January, and what? It's like April, right? This letter is from March, but I think it's April. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Enough time has passed that maybe he has, in fact, failed to do the thing they wanted. The revolution also is coming for them. Final Vanguard. You know what? Objectively, Final Vanguard wants him dead. And this one's Peter asking for a loan, so that feels less murdery. But I mean, like, objectively, Final Vanguard does want him dead. Okay. 2 or fewer slots are incorrect, which is a good sign. Do we know that Ada Baker is a member of Final Vanguard? Is that the name of a group? I guess I'm assuming it's the name of a group because it sounds like, you know, the National Front more than it sounds like a person. I guess it could be somebody's cool vigilante name. Ada, do you have... What do you have on you? A simple key and this letter from March. What are these? These are his books. Right. I mean, this is probably here for a reason, right? Does that letter of hers... No. Maybe it is coded, though, because, like... It's definitely not that code. And that makes sense, because the book was specifically calling that out as a bad code. I will say, though, like, everything that we've read, every piece of sort of interpersonal communication so far has... It hasn't had that, like, 4th grade essay quality to it. It seems like a thing with, like, intent and purpose. There's value to all these communications. So none of them are as obviously a coded message as as the example in the book. Which, again, is, like, it is a bad example. I mean, I might have this part right, too. It could be one of the other names. It's definitely not Rose Kubert. I feel Rose Kubert and Edmund Cloudsley, I feel like, are real solid. I kind of hate to do this, but, like, we can test this. Okay, so changing part of Ada's name made it more wrong. Which means Ada's right, this is right, this is right. I feel very confident about these. I think it is this. Let's, real quick here, I'm going to throw George Bridges in there. I don't think this is who did it. But if it still comes up as 2 or fewer slots are incorrect, then we've confirmed that these are definitely the 2. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. I don't know what to make of it from there. Maybe one of the Richardses wanted him dead? We don't really have a lot of communication between them, though, do we? There's this guy with his very bad wig. Just a huge failure of a wig. He doesn't seem all that upset. He's saying it's extremely upsetting, but he doesn't look that upset. And also, this is like, even to say it's extremely upsetting, feels like a very calm sort of reaction to somebody dying in front of you. And she's like almost fainting. She's repeatedly semi-swooning, which also feels like it could be a faked reaction, right? I guess this is not a productive line of investigation. There was a communication between these two. I don't know, this doesn't really... All this does is make it seem like maybe Edmund Cloudsley is very boring, which is... I guess it's a reason to kill him. I've never killed anybody for being boring, but I can't say for certain that I wouldn't. Okay, the top one is Ada. Oh, right. Yep. Okay, that's a little embarrassing. Probably a lot of you got there before I did. If we take the fourth word from every row in that letter she's holding, does it say something of value? This, no, use, sorry. Use substance to remove target. Sincerely, dark hand steward. This is coded mess. Hold on, though. Like, if that's actually what we're supposed to be getting out of it, use substance to remove target. It is fucking wild to me that their coded message contains like a sign off with a salutation. Why would you do that? Why would you say sincerely? You know what's fucked up? We actually do have Dark Hand. Is that from one of the kids' comic books? Where it where it is part of the name of a villain who is dressed in a tiger costume? This has gotta be a red herring. This is too fucking silly. Sincerely, Dark Hand Steward. I mean, fuck it. They did say they were going to send a steward after him. I cannot believe that's real. What? Ada Baker received encoded instructions that were extremely polite from Dark Hand Steward to poison Edmund Cloudsley. She used her ability to move freely throughout the rooms while cleaning and made a copy of the key to the medicine cabinet. She used a syringe to poison the bottle. However, during the party, Rose asked for tonic and drank first, and died really quickly and quite awfully from the poison. That is madness that we were only able to solve that because coincidentally the word almost kind of appeared on the cover of a comic book that was nearby. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can sign off on that noise. All right. I think that's what we're calling it for today. I think that is it. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're moving on to Mouse Over. It doesn't even have a title on Mouse Over. Okay, we're moving on to whatever the 6th bit is. It's got a big scary dog. It's probably just the Hound of the Baskervilles. There's only one story with a scary dog in it. We all know this. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.